Hi Pisces, this is your reading for August 2021, but ultimately it's for the next 4 to 6 weeks for whenever you come across this reading. I'm going to start with your oracle cards. Now you got unique gifts and I'm pretty sure Aries got that as well. So that speaks of something that's coming through that you have, that is unique to you, but it's something that you're maybe not that fond of, that can be a bit quirky. It's not particularly mainstream or popular, but in some way that is your superpower. So I don't know specifically what your unique gift is. You are coming through as the High Priestess, Pisces, so maybe in terms of your intuition or your clear sentence, you may have some of your gifts coming online. So I did check it and I have got the Offering. Now that may be in terms of, it comes through sometimes as Odin's sacrifice. I don't know specifically what that is, but when we think of Odin's sacrifice, it's obviously that he was prepared to give up his eye in order to see the future. So maybe something to do with, your foresight or just your intuition. But the offering is any kind of generosity, sacrifice, giving, compassion. These are your unique gifts. And interestingly, in terms of your outcome, I think you might be dealing with the polar opposite of that, because I think there's someone here that is really selfish and almost has an innate fear of giving in any way. So in someone's someone's gift is in terms of giving, maybe they're being guided, that they need to be more giving of themselves. In the main, Pisces, this is a month where I'm seeing a lot of nostalgia for when times were easier, more playful. You may be connecting with your inner child, or you may be looking back on your childhood, or you may just be looking back at a period in your life where things were just that wee bit easier, because you have got the sweet flower fairies here. And at the base of the deck, under the Six of Swords reverse, is the Six of Cups. So this is like, there's a mental loop here that is in some way connected with a past love or a past period of your life, but it was very much a period that you would like to get back when things were just easier. Yeah, we have got Jupiter in the 5th house, which is really nice. So the 5th house is of romance, children is coming through quite strongly. It's more about, I'm really feeling it's like inner child stuff here. I am seeing that someone is, wanting something back from the past that didn't complete properly. Maybe someone took the wrong turn in the past. I feel that it's more a case of someone didn't take the risks that they would have liked to have taken in the past, or they've made a mistake and they want to revisit that. But I mean, it's really, I felt this was all incredibly sweet, the subconscious, the present, the past. As much as there's blocks and there's something that's troubling you, it all felt quite melancholic. I'm sort of getting that vibe, when we're, gosh, I don't know what that was, when we're switching from the summer into the autumn. You start to put the fire on, and the air just smells that wee bit different, and you want to start making stews and soups, and it's my favorite time. So I felt like that, that switch when you sort of feel it. And I feel somebody wants to do that. They want to cocoon and they want to dream, and you're even being seen that way in some way, that you are maybe fantasizing a lot, or that you're having some sort of wish fulfilled. But then when I get up here into the crowning space, it honestly came in, there's like a real rough shod, almost brutal type energy around you, which is at complete odds in terms of what I'm reading. So I feel this is one of those readings where I'll start off reading maybe your energy or the other person's, fit it to your circumstances, and then suddenly they come in hard and fast and kind of take over the reading. That's really what I felt here. So yeah, nostalgia in the vein. There's no cups at all in this reading, not a one. So in my first draw, I've got 14 tarot cards out, 5 major arcana, and not one cup, which I think is, something else here. We have got the Peacock Spirit, and I'm going to clarify this because I've done the whole reading and I keep coming back to say I don't know what this bit's about. I don't know who this is, and I don't know if it's someone else, maybe someone trying to get your attention, or someone who is being told to come out, if you like, with their unique gifts, with what they have to offer. however that fits to your circumstances here. This can be a fairly arrogant card for me when it comes through, but it doesn't need to be. So I'm just going to clarify that now, actually, because it's the only bit that I kept going, that just doesn't make sense to this whole story. So show me for Pisces, say August, September 2021, what this peacock spirit is, or who this peacock spirit is. Because there is a masculine energy here that is an issue, and that is the one that came in. Like, I mean, it may not be like they're physically entering your space as such, but when they come into your mind, they kind of rattle you. You know, they kind of rattle you. Show me this. There's the Six of Cups again. Show me the peacock spirit in the Pisces reading. What is the peacock spirit in the Pisces reading? Who or what is the peacock spirit in the Pisces reading? Peacock spirit in the Pisces reading, please. Who or what is the peacock spirit in the Pisces reading? Temperance in reverse. Now, this is like chaotic energy, and it's coming in down here. Actually, in terms of how you see yourself, but oddly, I feel that's when the reading switched. There's somebody going back to the scene of the crime down here. And this could be a very, very big mistake. Someone can make a very wrong turn here. Or indeed they already have and they're coming back to try and fix it. Show me the peacock spirit for Pisces before we get into the reading. Show me the peacock spirit. Judgment reversed. Temperance reversed. Big Arcana reversed. Peacock spirit. Yeah. He's got a beady eye on someone here, and there we go. It's the King of Swords reversed. Not digging his energy at all, and I think this is this masculine energy. Maybe something's ended with him. Maybe you've got unfinished business. I see that coming through in the subconscious. This is someone who is may have some addictions, maybe very obsessive, maybe very controlling. It's certainly got a massive ego. That is really what's coming through here. Somebody makes poor decisions. Now, in some way, you know, this person that you've maybe engaged with, you do have very soft, fond memories, or they do of you. And I feel you sort of go down that path so far, but then there is an event that, you know, hits you like a bus, and that's what is in up here, and it's so rattling. It almost felt like completely rattled. Right, so where should we start? Let's start right at the beginning. The High Priestess was taking the cell. So this is like literally the heart of the matter, if you like. This is sorry, this is your energy that's coming through here. Oopsie. No little accident. So the High Priestess is obviously very intuitive. I'm just getting this like really dreamy kind of atmosphere that's around you just now. You might be very secretive. You might not be opening up to people or in a particularly, you know, chatty mood for the next 4 weeks or so. You may have a secret that you're kind of keeping to yourself. I'm getting that there's a lot of thoughts in your head here with Tating the Cell, because she's one of the cells that she asks a lot of questions. Why, you know, are we nearly there yet? Are we nearly there yet? What's happening? Who, what, where? She likes to sort of sit on the sidelines, listen to conversations, listen to everyone's opinions. She can change her mind in an instant. She has a lot of opinions, and I just feel that there's like a lot of ideas running through your head, you know, notions running through your head. Some of them might actually be brilliant. Some of them might not cut the mustard, you know, at all. And you may find for this period of time, Pisces, you're going to be changing your mind a lot. You're going to be changing your mind a lot, basically. But there is intelligence, there is discernment that comes through with this. However, the block position is actually very, very stuck with the Ten of Wands and the Oakman here. Very stuck. Now, this Ten of Wands is a wee bit different. My Mythic Tarot, there is actually a degree of success here in some way, because they have actually got the golden place. They have made it through the crack in the rocks. The boat's trashed and lost a few men on the way, but they made it through. The issue here is now what to do next, and that's really what someone is looking into, the heart of the matter. That is what the Oakman does, and the Oakman is very slow, very deliberate, very patient, very grounded. He does nothing rash, but he likes to learn his lessons from past experience. He is literally ancient wisdom. So it's almost like, I don't know if you've got to this stage here where you're overthinking what you should do next, or I sort of just feel that there's nothing particularly inspiring. It's not like I don't think you're in like a massive quandary, you know, like there's something that's come in that's really unsettled you and you don't know what decision to make. I'm not getting that there's choices or options, or I'm actually getting quite a sort of a very serene energy, and there's just really nothing that is sufficiently motivating for you to budge that. So, you know, there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with the energy. But as I say, this is one of these readings where some of it will be you and some of it is going to be somebody else, because that's really what I was feeling. And in the past here, now this could be all, this is weird. So in the past you had the Fool in reverse. Now this can be a misstep. This can be something that's been done recklessly, something that's been done stupidly or drunkenly. I don't know specifically what it is, but when I clarified it, I got my Maiden reverse. Now in my Fairy Oracle deck, this Maiden is the equivalent of the Fool. So it could be more than one thing that's been a missed opportunity, or an opportunity that's been rejected. Or it could be that there's two people here that have been like, you know, infantile. I don't know. But there's something, I just find that incredible that both decks, both in reverse, both in the same position in this spread. So either, you know, maybe you're mirroring someone, maybe you both didn't take the plunge in some way, shape or form, or maybe there was just a lot of opportunities in your past that you choose not to take advantage of for whatever reason, or maybe there's a lot of mistakes in your past which you're kind of pondering on and you're trying to learn from and you're trying to be more discerning. Okay, I'm going to go to the base of the matter. This is actually adorable because I love these cards together. So you've got the World in reverse here. So there's still lessons to be learned. There's a cycle that's not quite wrapped up. There's something that's still on your mind. You haven't really moved into the next phase. You're in the kind of in-betweeny. And this nostalgia is coming through really hard and fast here. You've got the Fawn and you've got the Ilby the Retriever here. And the Fawn is, you're almost like reminiscing, as I say, to a time when things flowed effortlessly. Now, either at the time you did really appreciate it, and when we do really appreciate the, you know, actually the times, I think anyway, I appreciate the most are when everything's, you know, just like that. You're in the flow. There's no drama, there's no excitement, there's no buzz. It's just, I don't know. I just remember always like dropping my kids off at primary school once we had like relocated and I got them into a good routine. They'd made some friends, and see the two of them run down with the wee matching jumpers on, and I'd be off to my work. I would always remind myself to really appreciate this, because I'm actually getting nostalgic, because I know that it wouldn't last forever. You know, everything was just so. And I feel that that's what this nostalgia is coming up with Ilby. I literally feel it myself. Now, with the Fawn being here, the Fawn is about natural magic. It can also be about your natural partner. That's maybe what you're nostalgic about, someone from the past. I'm not really getting that. I'm actually feeling that this is like when we connect with our innate kind of, you know, happy, playful, curious inner child, you know, that sees magic and fairies everywhere, you know. So, and on this I actually heard the Entertainer. Don't really know why, but I associate that with the Sting, and I wondered as soon as I came from here and then up to the headspace that this is where the Sting comes in. You know, you're in your little romantic reverie, or, you know, going down memory lane, and it's all very peaceful, and you know, you just want to curl up and have a little nap, and then something is very jarring, you know, something like harsh comes in, a memory that's not great. But Ilby wants to remind you of something that you've lost, and he's also reminding you that something you might want to reconsider at this stage that might not be entirely lost. It can be a lost person, obviously, but it can be a lost hope or a lost dream. And he's kind of wanting to remind you that it's maybe no bad thing to actually have these sweet memories just now, or go down memory lane. There might be something that you've missed. And I'm going to do the future, because as I say, where it switches up is when himself walks in, who's maybe this King of Swords down here. In the future, you've got the Two of Swords reversed here, and you are making some sort of decision or choice that you've probably been avoiding or, you know, procrastinating on. And it's the inspired choice, basically, because Penelope Dreamweaver's here, who is my inspiration fairy. She sends you magical dreams and visions, and in some way that is going to enable you to make some decision in the future here. She is usually around the creative, department, but she also teaches you how to dream again, how to hope again, how to wish again. And I, as I say, I actually think up to this point this is a really lovely reading, and then this comes in and it's just that kind of boom, and it may just be a thought, not an actual action. I've got the Eight of Swords reversed, the Seven of Wands upright, clarified by Geo the Slow in reverse and himself in reverse. Now he's the big problem. This is a masculine energy that can be a bit brutal. He can't just be out of his energy. It's not that. The thing about, the Eight of Swords is great to see it in reverse, because this is release, and this is someone who is releasing themselves almost like forcefully. There's force coming through with this himself. Now he can be in reverse, drained, or depressed, or it can be really just erratic, like swinging from one extreme to the next, 1 minute being like really obsessive and driving things through, and the next minute being like, flat on the floor, exhausted and out for the count. I don't know. It's erratic energy. It's supposed to be the divine masculine energy. It's supposed to be protective and honest and, justice, shamanic powers, chakras all lined up. It's supposed to be that healthy life force. All of that is in reverse, and it may even be slightly twisted here with the Eight of Swords in reverse. I don't know if it's coming from a place that someone desperately wants something to happen, because they're coming in with the Seven of Swords here, and it might be because things are taking too long, but I'm really feeling some sort of volcanic release here. And what really concerns me is that it's almost an attack on my Geo the Slow here. Now this doesn't need to be a person. This is an energy of inaction, and this is where I think the anger, the irritation is coming from, because Geo doesn't move. Now you can actually be stalling. This could be an energy or a person who is deliberately stalling your progress, your ability to move. I feel that I'm reading for somebody else here. I'm not kidding. It's all switched up. But it's just concerning, because Geo is just a beautiful character. He just goes with the flow, He goes with the cycles in life. He's never in a hurry. He's just humming as he walks along, or he's, lying on a canoe in the river and his fingers are trailing in the water. He's just utterly chill. And I just feel that, again, there's this jarring feeling, like somebody suddenly comes in a mad rage and it just feels jarring. I don't know what it is specifically. But someone is releasing themselves here. Either this masculine is releasing themselves, someone's releasing themselves from this masculine. And it just feels like it, I don't know. As much as I know that, there's not a lot doing here, it still feels incredibly sweet. And I don't know, maybe things do need to be shaken up a wee bit, Pisces, because I'm going to go straight in terms of how you're being seen. And you are being seen as a star. So either you're like somebody's wish, somebody's hope, somebody wants to heal something with you. I'm actually seeing that you're actually being seen as someone who's just super dreamy. Super dreamy. And clarified with Bodacious Bojack here, this can be a masculine energy, and he wants to fix something, because this is when the Bodacious Bojack, he is actually a natural, brownie or a Boy Scout. He's supposed to be, but he's a complete and utter saboteur. And he messes things up, and he enjoys it. He thinks it's enormous fun. When he comes in reverse, this is somebody who's trying to fix something, basically. This is someone who's who's messed up. Who wants to be helpful. He wants to be helpful. So you're being seen maybe as someone who wants to be helpful, or you're being seen as someone who's dreamy, hopeful, wishful, and there is something helpful coming in your direction here. Now, the biggest problem in the reading, apart from that up there, is this. Now, this is in terms of how you're seeing yourself. So, you know, this can be you or someone else. You're going to have to switch it. The Seven of Swords in reverse. Now, this can be about being really honest with yourself, because the Seven of Swords, lying, deceit, thievery, yes, murderous even in this card, can also be how we deceive ourselves, you know, the delusions we're under in terms of how we see ourselves and how we think we're perceived, or how capable we think we are, or how, you know, mature we are, whatever it may be. This might be someone who's really, you know, taking a good, hard, honest look at themselves. I'm not sure though, because it is also returning to the scene of the crime, and it is also a confession. And the Journeyman's in reverse here. Now, this feels like this can either be, as I say, returning to the Seven of Swords, returning to where something was messed up. I'm actually getting that it could also be that there's some sort of inappropriate journey or a path that's been taken here. And this is how you're seeing yourself. So this is kind of present energy. This isn't really something in the past here. And this can be somebody or it is very destructive. This is a very destructive path. A destructive path to self, a destructive path to others. And I think this is maybe what someone is actually deciding to look at here. Now, it may well be that you're kind of like, you know, unable to move at this time for whatever reason. Well, obviously, you know, the way things are in the world. It could be something to do with travel issues. Honestly, I'm not really feeling that, because the Journeyman in his upright is someone who's very adventurous and someone who, you know, wants to, you know, go off and be independent and, you know, learn new things. And because I've got the Maiden and the Fool both in reverse here in the past, it feels like somebody kind of hasn't done that. So either someone's taking a good, long, hard look at themselves, or there's some sort of confession of something that's been done that's deceptive. Because when all that gnome comes up, he is my trickster energy. In wine there is truth, and he usually does things in a drunken stupor. It's an energy that is chaotic, but it can be creative chaos. In other words, the chaos that they create does ultimately have a purpose. I mean, they're not aware of the purpose, but it does. It is there to highlight, you know, somebody's possible failings. You know, it's the energy that comes like before you get your breakthrough, you have to have a breakdown. This is a breakdown that ultimately results in a breakthrough. But yeah, there's trickster energy here, and it is around, you know, traveling or the path that someone's taken, or some sort of lie, some sort of theft. And it may be something that, you know, in some way comes out through a drunken action. But there is something deceptive here. So in your hopes, Pisces, yours or whoever you're connecting with, this is really nice. The Nine of Pentacles, and with Tahom the poet here. So the Nine of Pentacles is a card of autonomy, basically, being self-sufficient, being attractive. I'm actually feeling that somebody, and I'm coming back to the 5th house here, is kind of single and ready to mingle. That either you're hoping that this is the kind of energy that comes towards you, or you're hoping that, you know, you're up and ready for it, you know. This is very romantic energy that's coming through here. Tahom is very, very youthful. It doesn't need to be in, like, you know, biological years, but his energy is very youthful, and he's inclined to, you know, write. He likes to write stories, poetry. He likes adventure and, you know, science fiction and romance, really. He's having a lot of romantic thoughts, and he likes to write about it. He's not great at taking action. He is one of the stone fairies, very much like Geo. So I just think there's a hope here that, you know, something magical comes in, something that happens on the romantic front here, because he's a lover of storytelling. He loves stories, he loves women, he loves wine, and he's got a great imagination here. And I just sort of get this sort of like, you know, poised, I think I'm ready, you know, in the hopes. It's not any way of prediction. Now in the fears, Knight of Pentacles and the Lom here. I actually got initially that somebody might be fearing, as much as they are like, you know, coming through someone who's looking for romance or looking for a partner, there is a fear here that it might actually be boring once they get there. You know, like marriage might be a bit dull. And do they have the staying power? They're fearing being, are they able to go the distance? Are they able to remain loyal to just one partner? Or will it be dull? That's honestly what I felt from that. because and they're also feeling giving. Someone's feeling actually giving here, you know, equally, because that is who the Lom is. This is her here, and this is her wee man down there. And oh gosh, on this I heard the end scene music from Pretty Woman. Yeah. And I also heard he's not over it. So the fear here is that basically I think someone's maybe been afraid of getting into a committed relationship, quite possibly. Yeah. They think it might be boring. They don't know if they'll get the staying power for it. I can't see that any other way. So I'm going to go out to your outcome, Pisces, and you have got the Five of Wands upright, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and the Hierophant upright. So we're talking about some sort of commitment, promise. This could be a loan agreement here. If it is some sort of loan agreement, it ain't fair, basically. Six of Pentacles in reverse is selfish energy. It's uncharitable. It's imbalanced. So that's something you need to look at. There's people in the mix here. This isn't normally just, you know, you and your person, for example. There's usually interfering energy. There's a lot of conflict. It can't just be internal. But honestly, the outcome feels unacceptable. It's the only way to say it, really. Because what did I hear on that? Hang on. I hear, oh yes, my fairy godmother comes in reverse, and I heard this simply won't do. And I actually saw the three wee fairies from, I think it's Sleeping Beauty, when they're out in the woods in the little stone cottage. This simply won't do, is what I heard. So whatever this outcome is, and obviously you do have free will, but this is the direction things are moving in. If you continue to do what you've always done, and everyone around you, you know, does what they've always done, this is the most likely outcome in the next 4 weeks. And it's selfish. The fairy godmother, it's when she's coming through, it's not good in reverse. This is an energy of not being able to share. And I think this is coming back to the fear. There's someone who is afraid to share. There's a kind of judgmental energy here. This is where we like judge, you know, who's worthy of this, who's worthy of that. This is also where we give, and when we give, we, you know, make a mental note in terms of what we're due back. There's no unconditional giving here. It's actually a fear, and it's actually in the outcome. So we're almost manifesting our fears here. There's no unconditional giving. There's not sufficient kindness here. And when we live without the grace of the fairies, because this is almost a choice. This is a choice to live without the grace of the fairies. When the fairy godmother comes in reverse here, our lives are basically an uphill struggle. Things are harder than they need to be. Someone's making things harder than they need to be here. And it's because they're not able to give for whatever reason. So this is an energy where people share nothing. And what they get is never enough as well, you know. Never does the thief have enough. They continue to take. So the outcome is ultimately a little bit disappointing, has to be said. But as I say, it's because somebody here has a fear of giving. They would, I think there's, in the hopes here, there's hope of romance, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Let me just take you a couple of Lenormand on that outcome. Fire, who's not giving here? What does this selfish energy relate to in the outcome for Pisces? The selfish energy relate to in the outcome. Just see the snake. The selfish energy in the outcome for Pisces. As I say, in the beginning, you come through with unique gifts in the offering. That is your gift. The gift of sacrifice, the gift of, you know, offering presents, being generous. And the outcome is literally the opposite. Show me the outcome for Pisces. Why or who is selfish? What does this relate to? Did see the snake. This can sometimes relate to the other women, but it's betrayal, it's selfishness, it's rivalry. What is this selfish energy in the outcome? Too many. Selfish energy in the outcome for Pisces. selfish and energy in the outcome for Pisces, or what is it? Ooh. Okay, this is somebody who gaslights you in terms of the conversation here, and I'm going to come right back to my Bodacious Bojack here, which is basically his MO. Even though he's in reverse and he is trying to make things right here, this is someone who is word salad. It's conversations that go nowhere. Now, it may well be, and I'm coming back to Geo being up here, being overthrown, so to speak, because he was stalling. This might be this kind of eruption, because someone is stalling here and someone wants to break free. Because there's someone being selfish. And they're giving somebody the runaround. Who is it? Who is the selfish one? Who is the selfish one in the Pisces reading? Who is selfish in the Pisces reading? A rescuer. An angel. I'm seeing rescuer and liberator. There's an expectation that someone is going to be released from something. Rescued. Freed. Come out in reverse, isn't it? Where the charm here is. I don't know if it's this King of Swords down here, because he's very arrogant. Who's this King of Swords? The peacock. Who's the King of Swords peacock? Oof. It's a vampire. Yeah, it might be him. In reverse as well. Depleting others for their chronic survival, chronic complaining and codependency. A destroyer and a false hero. So that might give you an idea in terms of who's who. Let me take you some advice for Pisces. Where'd they go? Move them around. Angels and Oracle Wisdom deck. Please give me advice for the Pisces for the next 4 weeks for this reading. What advice can you offer Pisces? Yeah, I did say, didn't I, that I'd heard The Entertainer, and for me, I associate that with the movie The Sting. I don't know if that means anything to you. But that is who the snake stings, you know. Sits furtive in the grass and you don't know it's there. And then, boom. Spirit Fox, trust your talents in changing times. Pisces, that's too many. Pisces advice. The autumn, so we're nearly there. Release the old and rest. Set your sights higher, and things are going to switch up here. So let me just see what that relates to. Advice for Pisces on the Spirit Fox. Advice for Pisces. See, this is talking about gifts again, unique gifts, and here's a gift. There's some sort of offering here. It is a financial offer, or it's an offer involving a mother that may become public. Your unique gift is in terms of what you offer. Show me the garden, the Pisces advice. Pisces, your advice is basically to end some sort of dispute, reach an agreement, maybe even take a loss. Because it is a situation that is creating stress, that is physically, mentally draining, that is keeping someone stuck in an unhealthy cycle. So if there's a negotiation that it is ultimately going to be not what you expect, simply not good enough, but you have to balance that with, you know, the advantage, if you like. That's not, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You have to balance it in terms of your own physical, emotional being, health, you know. So the money might not be there. It might be disappointing. You might have been fighting for it for a very long time. There comes a point where it's not worth it. Literally is not worth it. Health is wealth, and if you don't have that, you have nothing. So there is some sort of offer here, a gift of money. Might not be what you expect, but your advice is to end a conflict, end a cycle with whoever this snake is. There is a snake in the grass here. It's probably a family member, and you need to cut it out because it is creating stress in someone's life. Okay, that's your reading, guys. Have a good one. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.